शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So, invoking the grace of Lord Dakshinamurti and Pujya Swamiji, we are going to start our study on the text called Advaita Pancaratnam. What is the name? Very long name, like Bala Shiva Subramanyam. No? In South India, long names are there. So, Advaita Pancaratnam. This text is attributed to Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji. We are not very sure, but it is attributed to him. Simple meaning of this title I will just tell now. Afterwards we will see the meaning in detail. Because when we hear the name, we want to know the meaning. Advaita Pancaratnam. Ratnam is gems. Pancha means five. 5 gems of non-duality. That is the meaning of Advaita Pancaratnam. 5 gems of non-duality. It sounds a little bit contradictory. A non-dual and 5 gems are there. We will understand a little later. This text, like Ashtavakra Gita, is Nididhyasana Pradhana. Like Swamiji said, Ashtavakra Gita is connected with or is associated with this Nididhyasanam. It is a text for Nididhyasanam contemplation. In fact, since Swamiji took Ashtavakra Gita, therefore I am taking this text. I should match with this text, no? And therefore matching. So that text also is Nididhyasana text, and this Advaita Pancaratnam is also the text for contemplation. And this text, Advaita Pancaratnam, is capturing, presenting very briefly the content of Vedanta. So the essential content of Vedanta is presented in this text, very briefly but very comprehensively. So this text is presenting Vedanta Saraha, the essence of Vedanta. Now, question is, what is Vedanta? Most of you have been studying Vedanta for so many years, but still some of you might be attending first time. So little bit understanding about Vedanta is useful. And some people have heard about Vedanta, but there are some misconceptions about Vedanta. So what is Vedanta? In the word Vedanta, there are 2 parts, Veda and Anta. So some people, they explain this word Vedanta as, Veda means knowing, Anta means the end. The end of knowing is Vedanta. Wow, that's great. So that meaning can somehow be justified if you want to justify. But really Vedanta literally does not mean that. Because we have got many Vedantas. So Anta means end. If you say the end of knowing will be only one. And therefore this meaning cannot be taken literally. Vedasya Antaha Vedanta, the end of knowing, that meaning Pujya Swamiji says is we cannot take because it will be only one. And in fact, Vedanta we are starting learning, so there is no question of the end of learning. But if he somehow wants to justify, then perhaps we can say that it is the text or it is the body of knowledge having studied which there will be completion of the pursuit of knowing. In that sense, somehow we justify. If our Guruji has told, we will justify. Somehow we will justify. But that is not the primary meaning of the word Vedanta. What is the meaning of Vedanta? Puja Swamiji used to say, it is a positional name. Vedasya antaha Vedantaha. It is the end portion of Vedas. Now question is, what is Veda? In Shastra we have definition for Vedas. Apaurusheyam Vakyam Vedaha. What is Vedaha? Apaurusheyam Vakyam Veda. Little bit Sanskrit I will say because there are some learned students are there. So considering them, I will say a little bit in Sanskrit, but everything I tell in Sanskrit will be explained in English. So if you don't know Sanskrit, don't feel that you have missed anything. Alright. So Veda means Apaurusheyam Vakyam Vedaha. Veda is the sentence, or a group of sentence, which is not Paurusheya. Paurusheya, Swamiji explained, what can be reached by human effort, the effort of human intellect is called Paurusheya. So Paurusheya Vakya means the sentence which is based on the efforts of human intellect. For example, if I say that Murugan temple is about 400 meters from here and you have to climb 60 steps, then you will reach there and you can have darshan. So this is a vakyam. But what type of vakyam? Paurusheya vakyam. Why? Because this sentence is based on the effort of human intellect. I myself have gone there, seen all the steps, and based on my perception, I am making a statement. So the statement which is made based on the Paurusheya Pramana, the means of knowledge available to human intellect independently, that is called Paurusheya Vakyam. Swamiji gave the example, there is a valley of flowers, that is what? Paurusheya Vakyam. In Shastra they give the example, Nadyaha tire phalani santi. Simple. Means there are fruits on the bank of river. So that will be what? Paurusheya Vakyam. What is Apaurushaya Vakyam? Simple. Paurusheya Bhinna Vakyam, Apaurushaya Vakyam. The sentence which is not Paurusheya means which is not based on the effort of human intellect. That is called Apaurushaya Vakyam. So Apaurushaya Vakyam is Vedas. So means in simple words, the body of knowledge which is not the product of human intellect, received from the creator of this world through the rishis, that is called Vedas. So Vedas is a body of knowledge received from the creator of this world through the rishis and not a product of human intellect, that is called Vedas. And these Vedas are classified in different ways. One classification all of you are familiar with. How many Vedas are there? 4 Vedas. What are they? Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. This is the classification done by Bhagavan Veda Vyasa, based on the application of the mantras of Vedas, based on the priests who are involved in these rituals. So that was a classification by Veda Vyasa based on the application of these Veda mantras. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. Rigveda is the Veda which is to be studied by a priest called Hota. His name is, the priest name is Hota. This Yajurveda is the Veda which is to be studied by Advaryu. This Samaveda is the Veda to be studied by Udgata. Atharva Veda is the Veda to be studied by Brahma, one supervisor. So Brahmaji will not be actively participating in the ritual. He will be supervising. And if somebody is doing something wrong, he will say Om, 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 because he cannot say other things. Only they have to speak the language of Om. Swami Chinmayan used to say Om. So that is Brahmaji. So that is one classification of Vedas. Sometimes you might have heard this expression called Vedatrayi. Vedatrayi means threefold Vedas. So we may wonder, there are 3 Vedas or 4 Vedas. Both are okay. 4 Vedas from one angle, 3 Vedas or 3 Vedas from another angle. So Vedas means Veda mantras can be divided into 3 based on the type of mantras. There are 3 types of mantra in all 4 Vedas. One type of mantra is called Rig mantras. The Rig mantras are structural verses, structural mantras. The mantras which have got certain number of quarters and letters in each quarter. Like Sahasrashirsha Purushaha, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat, Sabhumim Vishvato Vrutva, Atyatishthad Dashangulam is Anushtup Chanda there. Even though Vedic chanting is not in this way, but it is a metrical structure. So the mantras which are having the metrical structure, a definite structure, that type of mantra is called Rig mantras. And the Vedas which have got most of the Rig mantras will be called Rig Vedas. Then Yajur mantras are the mantras which are in prose form. Shiksham Vyakhyasyaamaha Varnaswaraha Matra Balam. So that will be in prose form, no structure. So that is called Yajur mantras. And Sama mantras are Giti Yogyam Sama. That which is available for singing is called Sama mantras. So thus there are 3 types of mantras. Rig mantras, Yajur mantras, Sama mantras. And that is why all the Vedas are sometimes called Vedatrayi based on the type of mantras. 4 Vedas is the classification based on the application of the mantras in the ritual. And this is based on this type of mantras. One more classification is there of Vedas, which is relevant to us a little more here, and that is, these Vedas are divided into 4 parts from another angle. And what are the 4 parts? Mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad. So this is another classification. Mantra Bhaga. The Vedas, one part of the Vedas is called Mantra Bhaga, otherwise called Samhita. Mantra or Samhita. And what does it mean? The main pithy sentences of Vedas which are to be commented upon by the next part of the Vedas, that is called mantra. So Mantra Bhaga of the Vedas are consisting of the main sentences which are generally commented upon or shown application by the next part called Brahmana Bhaga. So Mantra Bhaga is called Vyakheya Bhaga, the part of the Vedas which is to be commented upon. And like Agnimi, Ile, Purohitam, Ishe, Tvorjetva, these are Mantra Bhaga. Then second is Brahmana Bhaga. So Brahmana Bhaga is that part of Vedas which is a commentary on mantra, or the Bhaga, the part which is showing the application of mantra. So the second part of Vedas is the Brahmana Bhaga, which is explaining the mantras and which are showing the applications of mantras. So Brahmana is a commentary on mantra. Mantra is a Vyakheya to be commented upon, and Brahmana is commentary. This is what general classification we are giving for our understanding. There is no rigidity about it. There is so much discussion on that. What is mantra, what is Brahmana and all. This is general understanding. Then third one is called Aranyaka. Aranyaka means, literally it means Aranye Adhitam Aranyam. Aranyakam. So that which is studied in the forest is called Aranyaka. That is a literal meaning. And this Aranyaka is specifically dealing with the topic of Upasana. Mantra and Brahmana are generally dealing with the karma, whereas Aranyaka is dealing with this Upasana, meditation. And the last part is called Upanishad, which is dealing with this self-knowledge. And this Upanishad is otherwise called Vedanta. So Vedanta means the Upanishad part of Vedas. And generally Upanishad occurs at the end of the Vedas, therefore it is called Vedanta. So Vedanta is a positional name. Why? Because this Vedanta is the part which is occurring at the end of Vedas. And this Vedanta is otherwise called Upanishad. So what is the meaning of Vedanta? The end portion of Veda which is otherwise called Upanishad. And there is a beautiful sentence in the text called Vedanta Sara. And it opens with this statement. Opening statement is very beautiful statement which I love the most. One of the very favorite statement is Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. It's a very important statement for all the seekers of self-knowledge can remember. And that is Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. This particular statement is clarifying one misconception. What is the misconception? People say this, you must have heard this very often. Vedanta is a theory. Vedanta gives theoretical knowledge, and afterwards you have to do sadhana to get self-realization. Have you heard this? Vedanta gives you theoretical knowledge, and afterwards you have to do sadhana to get self-realization. And most of you must have taken it very seriously. Let us understand this very well. Vedanta is neither theory nor practice. Vedanta is neither theory nor it is practice. What is it? It is pramanam. Vedanto nama. Nama means. Vedanta means pramanam. Pramanam means means of knowledge. What is Vedanta? If somebody asks in your mind, whether people ask or not, in your mind it needs to be very clear. Vedanta is neither theory nor it is practice. It is what? It is pramanam. Like using your eyes. Is it theory or practice? Practice? So before this using the eyes, do you have some, because practice means some theory has to be there before. Did you have some theory? So does child study some theory and then, okay, I have to use my eyes today. So let me study what is the mechanism of this operation of eyes. Then I will use. Is it there? Using the eyes is neither theory nor practice. Why do you call it? It is pramanam. We cannot categorize in this, Like certain things, you cannot categorize. If I ask you, this book is a male or female, you cannot call it. It doesn't fall in that category. Is a woman or man? It's not, category is different. So why should you categorize when it doesn't fall into that? So just as using my eyes is neither theory nor practice, even though it looks like practice. It is pramana vyapara. It is the means of knowledge, or to be precise, operations of the means of knowledge. So Vedanta is neither theory nor it is practice. Let us get rid of this orientation. Most of the people are given this orientation, especially Neo Vedanta, means New Vedanta. Say you get this theory, first little bit theory you get. Theory you don't require much. So 3 days you can have theory and afterwards practice. And in fact they say that, Swamiji, first I studied Vedanta and then I thought I should do some sadhana. This is a very common expression. In Rishikesh they use this. Swamiji, first I will study in the ashram, one course I will do, and then I will do sadhana. To me it sounds like this. Somebody says, I will have the sambar, rice, rasam, and then I will have my meal. That itself is a meal. Studying Vedanta itself is a sadhana. Why are you calling the studying Vedanta and then sadhana? So let us not use the wrong terminology. That first I will study Vedanta and then I will do sadhana. Does it mean that studying Vedanta is not a sadhana? Remember very well, studying Vedanta itself is sadhana. In fact, it is the main sadhana. So Vedanta is pramanam. Vedanto nama Upanishad. Vedanta means Upanishad, which is pramanam. It is a means of knowledge. What is the meaning of means of knowledge, pramanam? Pramanam, in Sanskrit we define like this. Pramayaha karanam pramanam. Karanam means the instrument, the means. Prama means valid knowledge. The means of valid knowledge is called pramanam. And this morning Swamiji talked about pramanam. How many pramanam he talked about? 5. 5 plus 1. Plus 1 he added now afterwards. He started with 5. The first one is what? Pratyaksha, perception. I am seeing you now. You are seeing me. You are hearing me now. Hopefully, you are hearing me now. If you are awake. That is what perception. Pratyaksha. Second is anumanam. Some people, those who are not familiar with Sanskrit language, they get confused with Hanumanam. It is not Anumanam, it is Anumanam. Some people, and ha, they don't pronounce properly. Hanumanam is different, Anumanam is different. Hanuman, in fact, Hanumana is not. Hanuman, Hanu means jaw. Man means endowed with. Hanuman means the Devata who is endowed with a special jaw. Therefore it's called Hanuman. This is Anumana. This is a problem of this pronunciation. In North India, they will say Ram, 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 Ram. Here what they will say? Rama, 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 Rama. So they have cut akara and here they have lengthened akara. Correct pronunciation is what? Rama. Here we say what? Krishna. Krishna ni vegan. So Krishna. And there what say? Krishna. Krishna perhaps little bit they manage. But Ram, 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 Ram they say. Ram is not correct word. Rama. Here we say Rama. Both are not correct. So Anumana. And that is Hanuman. Alright. So Anumana means inference. And in Shastra we have got a stock example. What? You see the smoke and you infer fire. Seeing the smoke, you infer fire. Modern example, seeing the chappal, you infer the presence of the person. That is Anumana. Then third is Arthapatti, presumption. Swamiji did not explain, so he left some scope for me. So I am explaining. Arthapatti means presumption. And for that also we have a stock example. All of you must have heard, many of you must have heard, that Devadatta is not eating during the daytime, but still he is very fat. So what we presume? That he must be eating during night time. And you know, when you eat during night, it directly gets converted into fat because not used. So unused calorie gets converted into fat. Therefore, Devadatta is fat. Diva abhunjanasya pinatvam ratri bhojanam vinana sambhavati. So that's how they present. So without ratri bhojanam, night eating, it is not possible. Therefore you presume. Therefore it is called presumption in English, and in Sanskrit we call arthapatti. Arthatapatti means by implication we get some knowledge. Arthapatti. Then we have got upamana. Otherwise called upma. But upma means we remember our dining on upma. It is upamana means comparison. For example, if somebody asks me that who is this Satswarupananji? I was told he is in Rishikesh. You know Satswarupananji? So if I tell that, you know, Pujya Swamiji, how used to look earlier? So he is looking like Pujya Swamiji. And so you go there and you see somebody like Pujya Swamiji, beard, etc. Then you understand, this is Satswarupananji. This is called this knowledge by comparison. This is the simplest form of upamanam I am giving. This is not that easy. But upamanam, why should we bother about? We should bother about Rasmalai. So, Rasmalai is going to come today. That's why I am telling. So, upamanam. Upamanam means this knowledge based on the comparison of things. Simple version. Okay? This is not that easy, but simple is good enough. Then next one is very interesting. It is called Anupalabdhi. Is there an elephant in this hall? Is there an elephant? Huh? There or not? No. So you have the knowledge of absence of elephant. Do you have the knowledge of absence of elephant or not? Elephant is not there. Even though name of this place is what? Anaikatti. Anaikatti means the place where elephant is tied. So, but still here, elephant is not there. Thank God. If elephant is there, nobody will be here. So, so even Anumanam we can know. So, okay. So, you have the knowledge of the absence of elephant. Chavi, if I ask you, how do you know the absence of elephant? If I ask you that, how do you know this pot? What do you say? By my eyes, perception. Because this pot has got some form and color. So through the eyes you can know. You are hearing my sound, my words. You are able to perceive because there is some sound frequency there. Now, if I ask you, how do you know the absence of elephant. Tell me, what is the color of absence of elephant? Elephant has got color, some color. But what is the color of the absence of elephant? Is there a color? Absence of elephant? No color. Is there a sound of absence of elephant? Elephant has got a sound, or something. But absence of elephant, is there any sound? What is the smell of absence of elephant? Elephant may have a smell, but absence of elephant doesn't have smell. Still you know the absence of elephant. Do you know or not? So the means by which you know the absence of things, that means is called anupalabdhihi. In English they translated non-comprehension. And this non-comprehension works by one simple principle. By the absence of knowledge, we get the knowledge of absence. By the absence of knowledge, we get the knowledge of absence. It works on this principle. If elephant was there, I would have seen. Asti chet upalabhyeta. Nacha upalabhyate. But it is not seen. Therefore, not there. So, based on the absence of knowledge of a thing, we get the knowledge of absence of a thing. By the absence of the knowledge of elephant, we get the knowledge of the absence of elephant. Some people head will be reeling by understanding. By the absence of knowledge, you get the knowledge of absence. This is anupalabdhihi. And I tell you, anupalabdhi is very, very important means of knowledge. We check that nobody is sitting here, then we sit. The child also, we first anupalabdhi, father is not there, mother is not there, anupalabdhi. Then only he does all mischief. So anupalabdhi is very important means of knowledge. All right. Then next one is called shabda pramanam. These all 5 means of knowledge are designed for knowing the objects. And the self is not an object, because it is a subject, as Swamiji explained this morning. And therefore, these 5 means of knowledge cannot give me the knowledge of the self. So, what is the means left out? The means left out is Shabda Pramanam. If you see in the dictionary, Shabda Pramanam, the translation is, what? Verbal testimony. For me, still it is a mystery what is verbal testimony. But that is a translation. Better translation will be Shabda Pramanam, means the means of knowledge in the form of words. That is called Shabda Pramanam. And the Shabda Pramanam is of 2 types. One is called Laukika Vakya, other is called Vaidika Vakya. Laukika Vakya means the sentences of a person, which is the sentences of a person who has got the knowledge based on these 5 means of knowledge. Means either I saw something or I inferred something and I utter my understanding. I express my understanding through words. I have gone to Murugan temple, I have climbed the steps, so I have got the knowledge of the steps based on Pratyaksha Pramanam. And now, based on Pratyaksha Pramana, whatever knowledge I have got, that I express through the words, that is called Laukika Vakyam. Verbal, literal translation they give is secular sentence, better is the worldly sentence, or the sentence by a person who gets the knowledge based on the 5 means of knowledge. But this Laukika Vakya also cannot give me self-knowledge. Why? Because that also is based on the 5 means of knowledge. And therefore, the Laukika Vakya cannot be the means of knowledge. So, only we are left with is Vaidika Vakya, the sentence of Veda, that alone is Pramanam. And in that Veda also there are 2 parts. Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. And Jnana Kanda is otherwise called Vedanta, otherwise called Upanishad. So some people, they don't have clarity about this Vedanta and Upanishad. So they said, I have studied Upanishad, but Swamiji, no text I have studied called Vedanta. Isha Upanishad I have studied, Kena Upanishad I have studied, but Swamiji, Vedanta I did not study. So better you know, Upanishad is otherwise called Vedanta. Alright. So Vedanta is dealing with the subject matter of the self in its true nature. So Vedanta is the means of knowledge revealing the true nature of myself. This is what Vedanta is. And this Vedanta, even though it is Pramanam, but it is Pramanam with the means of knowledge only when it is revealed by, handled by a Sampradaya with means a traditional teacher. One Swamiji used to give nice example. He said, you may have a CD, but if you don't have CD player, then if you keep CD near your ears, can you hear music? You cannot hear. CD will be played only when you put it in CD player. You chop, start the button. That's why Guru also is like CD player, you know. So that's why Puja Swamiji was telling. He says in the US, the people don't know what is this potu we put. So two children were discussing with each other. When they saw Swami with this, then one child was asking the other. He said, why this Swami has got this circle-like thing, you know, the spot. He said, you know, these all gurus are speakers. This is a button. You press. So if you press, it will start. If you again press, it will stop. So gurus are supposed to be like these CD players. All right. So what we mean is, Vedanta by itself is a Pramanam, but it will become Pramanam, it will be available to us as a Pramanam, the means of knowledge, only when it is coming from a teacher, Guru. That is why in the Mundaka Upanishad, which Swamiji referred to, it is said, Tadvignanartham Gurumeva Bigachet. For knowing this reality, one should go to the teacher only. Why is it so? As Swamiji explained this, if you study Shastra by yourself, you will study in such a way that you retain your individuality. And the study of Shastra, study of Vedanta, is a really suicidal pursuit in a way. In a one way we can see it. Where this ahankara has to be negated. And ahankara has to discover its true nature in the form of limitless Brahman. And it amounts to commit suicide, as it were. And therefore what will happen? This self-study will inflate this ego. Person will say, I have finished Isha, I have finished Kena, I have finished Katha. Everything is finished, but ego is not finished. Ego is inflated. And therefore, if you are a little bit Vedanta sensitive, you can make out within half an hour whether this person has studied traditionally or he is just reading and speculating and teaching. If you are little bit having some exposure to Vedanta teaching, you can make out. So it doesn't come. In fact, my humble submission is that with the teacher also people are struggling to understand. Without teacher, what will happen? It is like with crutches also, person is fumbling every now and then. So without that, what will happen? And moreover, my obsession of not going to the teacher itself is an obstacle in assimilation of this understanding. I don't want to go to the teacher. It shows that I am very much obsessed with my pride, my ego, etc. And that itself will become a block. Person doesn't understand Vedanta by oneself is one thing. But this insistence, that obsession, why should I go to somebody? I am a PhD. I did my graduation, post-graduation, PhD, and hardly I got anybody's help. I am a self-made person. This pride of being a self-made person, which is a false pride. Nobody is really self-made person. You think you are self-made. You are supported by how many factors you may not be aware of. Anyway, so in our tradition, we emphasize this, that one should go to the teacher for learning the Shastra. So when the Vedanta is listened from a traditional teacher, then I get the vision about myself. What is the vision Vedanta gives? It can be present in different ways. One way of presenting is, you are what you are seeking in your life. The vision of Vedanta is, you are what you are seeking in your life. You are seeking security, you are the real meaning of security. Abhayam pratishtham vindate. You are Abhaya Swarupa. You are the source of real security. You are searching for peace, you are Shanta Swarupaha. You are searching for happiness, you are Ananda Swarupa. You are searching for this limitlessness, you are limitless. Thus, the vision of Vedanta is, you are what you are seeking in your life. And therefore, really speaking, you do not have to do anything, as Swamiji said. You do not have to do anything to be free. You just know yourself to be what really you are. And that knowing is by being exposed to the Vedanta with the help of teachers. And that sadhana is called Shravanam. So Shravanam means being exposed to the Vedanta Pramanam with the help of a traditional teacher. That is called Shravanam. Of course, there is a what is called some technical definition, and that is understanding that all the Vedanta Vakyas are revealing the same vision. What is the vision? You are that. And that stands for what you are seeking in your life. You are limitless. So all the Vedanta Vakyas are revealing the same thing. When you get this conviction, then your Shravanam is complete. Means you should not have doubt that in that Vedanta it is said, two birds, dva suparna, sayuja sakhayo. Then how Vedanta has got this commitment to reveal this, that I am one with Ishvara. So if those doubts are there, your Shravanam is not complete. So how long you have to do Shravanam? Till you get this conviction that all the Vedanta Vakyas have the same message, central message to convey. I am limitless Brahma. I am limitless reality. So you understand this with the help of Shastra, and if you are fully qualified, then you do not require any further sadhana. Shravanam itself is enough for you. Get exposed to the Shastra with the help of the teacher, your job is done. You got the vision. I am free. You enjoy your freedom. Whole life will be what? Whole life will be retirement. Fully real retirement. Puja Swamiji was asked by somebody, Swamiji, why don't you take some break? Vacation you should take. He said, I'm already on vacation. For last so many years I am on vacation. There is no vacation in vacation. So your whole life becomes vacation. You don't require separate time for vacation, enjoying, etc. You all the time enjoy. Like for some people, every day is a holiday. Why? Because they don't work. So every day, roz itwar hai. So every day is a Sunday. So similarly, this moksha is that where you are on permanent vacation. So nothing is to be done. Person did Shravanam, got the vision, free. But conditions apply. Like the right now advertisement, condition apply. Why? When it will happen? That by listening to Vedanta from a teacher, person got this freedom. When a person is qualified. If person has got less qualification in some area, then he requires one more sadhana, and that is called mananam. Mananam means deliberation. Sometimes they translate as reflection. What is mananam? Mananam is the sadhana of resolving doubts with reasoning. So when so many doubts are there, if I am Brahman, then how come this is not understood by everybody? People have this question. Swamiji, you are telling I am Brahman, I am one with Ishvara. So Ramanujacharya is not saying this. He also was very brilliant. Madhvacharya, he is saying you and Ishvara are totally different. If you say you are Ishvara, you will go to Naraka, hell. So Swamiji, do you think that you are more intelligent than this Madhvacharya or Ramanujacharya? And you see, you are following only 10-15 people come. Whereas they have got a big following. That also, number also counts. No. So Swamiji, you are not in majority, whereas they are in majority. See, if we conduct this Vedanta class, Vedanta program, 120 people come. But if we conduct a Bhagavat Saptah by a great Kathakara, thousands of people will come. So Swamiji, everybody likes Dvaitam. And this Dvaitam is presented by great Acharyas. How Advaita is right? So this type of doubt may come. You think that they were so dull that I am understanding with my graduation, could not complete my graduation, and still I am understanding Advaita Vedanta, then they did not understand. Am I brighter than them? So, little bit shaken. And some Advaiti will come and tell you, see, you studied Vedanta how many years? 5 years. Still, see, you don't have joy. Every now and then you are complaining, getting angry with your wife. She was complaining with me. So, and see, we are Dvaiti all the time, Hare Ram, and we are so happy. So, what is the use of your Advaita? Join us. Join us and do puja and do Rama only. Stop studying Vedanta. You will be shaken. Aha. Especially, everybody has got some weak point. So somebody are little bit too much fond of eating. Some people are fond of, going for a trip, etc. Some weakness is there. And this other person knows it. So he will say, see, you are studying Vedanta, but still there is no progress. Come to this, shaken. That happens. And therefore we require mananam. How this Advaita is not illogical. Remember one important thing. Its clarity is so important. The vision of Vedanta, I am limitless Brahma, is not logical. Not logical. If it is totally logical, then Vedanta is not a pramanam for that subject matter. Vedanta is pramanam for that subject matter which cannot be decisively arrived at by logic. So the vision of Vedanta is not logical. Does it mean it's illogical? No. It is not illogical. What is the definition of logical and illogical? Logical is that which can be proved by logic. Illogical is that which can be disproved by logic. So that which can be proved by logic is called logical. That which can be disproved by logic is called illogical. Now the subject matter of Vedanta, I am limitless Brahma, is neither logical nor illogical. People generally think that Vedanta is logical. It's not a correct expression. Even if somebody says Vedanta is logical, it should be understood as what? It is not illogical. Vedanta is not logical. The subject matter of Vedanta is not logical. If something can be proved by logic, you don't have to come to Vedanta. Better you prove by logic. Your buddhi will have immediate acceptance. Something can be proved by logic, don't go to Vedanta for that. Vedanta is not designed for that. Vedanta is specialized in that subject matter which cannot be proved by logic. Why should you go to Vedanta? I generally give this example. You go to Kashmir and your relatives have told, when you go to Kashmir, you bring something for me. And you know what you bring? Cadbury chocolate. From Kashmir you go and you brought Cadbury chocolate. What is the use? Cadbury chocolate is available next door. When you go to Kashmir, you should bring something which is available in Kashmir. Special type of almonds or saffron, that type of thing you should bring. Not this. Similarly, from Vedanta, you don't learn, you are not supposed to learn that which can be arrived at by logic. So remember very well, the subject matter of Vedanta, the vision of Vedanta is not logical. Some people, those who are very serious but not understanding this point, they say, Swamiji, Vedanta is not logical. We are not able to prove it logically. Let go of that insistence. It should not be illogical. The vision of Vedanta is not disproved by logic, nor it is established by logic. And therefore, by mananam, what do? We understand this fact that vision of Vedanta is not illogical. All questions you raise, logical question you raise, you try to show the contradiction of logic with the vision of Vedanta. If what Vedanta says is right, then what about this? What about this? You can ask any number of questions. When we say Vedanta is not logical, you should not think that we are afraid of logic. Vedanta is not afraid of logic. So people think that you are saying logical is not logical because you cannot give logical answer. We are not afraid of logic. But what we are saying that it is not meant for proving by logic. It is not available to be disproved by logic. Therefore, in Mananam, what we do? We understand that all questions, all contradictions raised are based on faulty logic. So, in the pursuit of knowledge, we use logic for what? For understanding that the logic given by the opponent is wrong. To see the fallacy in logic, we use logic. Our purpose is not to prove Vedanta is logical. So you do this sadhana of resolving the doubts with the help of reasoning. That is called mananam. And after Shravanam and Mananam, you get the conviction. What conviction? I am Brahma. I am limitless reality. You get this. Even if your guru comes and tries to shake you, how can you be Brahman? You see your face, you cannot be. But somebody says, see your आपका मुंह देखो, कोई ब्रह्म जैसा लगता है क्या? So sometimes your people may try to shake you like this. You firmly say, I am clear. Even in the middle of night, somebody wakes you up. What is your understanding about yourself? I am limitless Brahman. Means nobody can shake you. Guruna api na vichalyate. That one meaning is that even by Guru, you are not shaken. Even if your Guru says that I am going to change the party from Advaita party, now election is there, I am going to Advaita party. Would you like to come? You said no. That is your conviction. Puja Swamiji was asked somebody. He said, Bhagavan Sri Krishna comes and tells that, see, I am not Advaita Brahma. Advaitam is not reality. Dvaitam is reality. Even if Bhagavan Sri Krishna comes and tells, what will you say, Swamiji? Swamiji says, I will tell, come on, Krishna, are you kidding me? That is the strength of conviction. Even if Bhagavan comes and asks you that, are you really Brahman? You can say, how can you be Brahman? Bhagavan shouts at you, how can you be Brahman? Yes, I am Brahman. Very humbly you say that. Softly you say, I am Brahman. No. I am limitless reality. I have no doubt whatsoever. This conviction is the result of Shravana and Mananam. Still, one problem remains, and that is the problem of habitual error. In Sanskrit, we call it Viparita Bhavana. Sometimes called Viparyaya or Viparita Bhavana. Viparita Bhavana means habitual wrong conclusions. Viparita means wrong conclusions. And Bhavana has got the idea of habit. Habitual wrong conclusions. What are the habitual wrong conclusions we have? One is that I am a small fellow. I need to be accepted by all. Everybody is seeking the acceptance through somebody. My wife should tell me, dear, you are wonderful, you are acceptable. Or my children should tell me, my friend should tell me. Everybody is seeking approval from others. And that is why if somebody criticizes you, you feel very hurt. And the interesting thing, if 10 people praise you, you get some happiness. Suppose say happiness of 20 units. And 2 people criticize you. You will have unhappiness of 40 units. Have you observed that? We are not becoming so happy with the praise as much as we are disturbed by the criticism of others. What does it show? It shows our too much dependence on approval from others. And that remains for a very long time. Even studying Vedanta, teaching Vedanta also. Suppose at the end of the class somebody says, your class was horrible. Habitual error. No, I will try to improve next time. Shaken. 10 people told Swamiji, your class was wonderful. Thank you, God's grace. All this. So, this is one habitual conclusion. What? I am a small fellow, not completely acceptable. Even though I have understood I am limitless Brahma, therefore I am the most acceptable. Because I am limitless. So really, I am most acceptable, that I have understood. But old conclusion is, I am not acceptable. I am to be approved by others. That Viparita Bhavana is there. Therefore, even after study of Vedanta and doing Mananam also, people react. Why? Because of this habitual error. Old conclusions, they govern the life. This understanding is in your conscious mind, but unconscious conclusions govern your life. And for that purpose, the sadhana of Nididhyasanam is talked about. And that Nididhyasanam is presented here in this stotra. We will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.